The SEC showdown that everybody is talking about. DJ Lagway and Arch Manning. Essentially the battles of the best in the SEC. But I know there's a few out there wagging their fingers saying not so fast, which we'll get into. The SEC battle / showdown that will be talked about for the next few months. We're going to break it down today. Let you know who we think is the best headed into August, the rest of the season. Let's break it down. Kicking it off with 6'3", 241-pound sophomore quarterback DJ Lagway. Bursted onto the scene last year when the quarterback Graham Mertz went down with an injury and ultimately threw for 1,900 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Little fun fact, no UF quarterback has thrown that many yards in their freshman year since Tim Tebow. Just saying. Going up against the mighty 6'4", Arch Manning, 225 pounds, redshirted his freshman year, saw a little action last year, threw for over 939 yards with 9 touchdowns. But here's the kicker, played in 10 games, only started 2. Could this be the deciding factor, the difference maker, if you will, going into the next season? Let's see. Let's dive into first order of business with Mr. Arch Manning. Things that I like about it. It's got to be his size. 6'4", 225 is the ideal quarterback size. He has a quick release, clean footwork, and a technically sound mechanics, and also his mobility. We saw it multiple times last year, especially playing alongside Quinn Ewers, would come in just to show off his footwork, able to punch it in, very Josh Allen-esque, like can just drive it up the nose, very strong, very powerful, and I imagine this offseason he has put on some more size as throughout the spring training. Also, he's a part of an elite pedigree with the name Arch Manning. That last name carries some factors, carries some weight. You've got great people behind you, great people in your ear telling you how to manage yourself. And the next last thing is going to be the composure. The 2 games that he was able to come in and start, the times that he did step in, I liked what I saw. Massive jumps from year 1. I can only expect these things to grow heading into year 3. Also, again, with the size, the mobility, the Manning, and of course, being a 5-star, damn near perfect rated quarterback, one of 3, the upside is tremendous. With the expectation of what he's anticipated to do is going to be huge. Not to mention, he plays with the Texas Longhorn. The plethora of talent that is surrounding him heading into the season, whether it's running backs, wide receivers, the offensive line, the defense, he is going to be placed into a fantastic system that's going to allow and to alleviate some of his mistakes or errors. And as we head into my concerns, lack of experience. So we go into the list of things that concern me. It's simply just going to be his experience. Can he be that guy? Sure, he looks the part, sounds the part, feels the part. But when the stadium pulse is kicking, the glass is shattered, the fans are yelling, can he put the ball where it needs to be? Can he step up and lead this group down the field? Everyone's excited about Arch Manning being the shiny new toy. Let's not forget what Quinn Ewers did these last 2 years, taking them to my semifinals, taking them to the Big 12 championship, winning the Big 12 championship, and taking them to an SEC championship. Quinn Ewers did everything that you would want a SEC Texas quarterback to do outside just get the big one, right? Get the big chip when it comes to whether the SEC championship or, of course, the big national championship. And if I had to argue, I would say that Quinn at times lacked that dog in him. That's what's going to be interesting to see. We haven't seen Arch tested. He's kind of been kept in this cocoon for 2 years now, going into his junior year. A perfect 5-star rated quarterback. These guys, to keep these guys contained and allow them to develop in your secret little lab is tough nowadays. So this is either going to be a massive hit for Sark for the fact that he was able to bottle up this talent for as long as he did and let this thing fly out of its cocoon headed into the season, or there was a reason why we waited. Maybe the reason was Quinn. Maybe there's another reason. We'll find out. Let's head on to the other side of the ball here with DJ Lagway. Now, listen, we all know there's going to be a little bias here as I love me some DJ Lagway. Let's talk about the positive things that DJ brings to the table. Size, 6'3", athleticism, his mobility, his arm talent, his experience, the big game mentality that he carries, that he embodies. Did it 6 times last year. Started 7 times, didn't finish out, but the 6 times that he starts, going up against a ranked LSU, going up against an Ole Miss, able to take that team and handle it. Those are some big attributes that he is already able to contain as a freshman that Arch necessarily hasn't had to experience yet. A team has already followed him. He has already led a team. A team has already elevated their game under him. Poised under pressure. We've seen him. We've talked to him. We've interviewed him. The way that he carries himself on and off the football field is something honestly to admire for all of us to continue to strive to be, just because how calm and collective he is, his ability to just make explosive plays, zip passes, right? His mobility, his ability to use his legs. And what I love about he used his legs last year, obviously he went down with that injury pretty early on, but when we did see him move out of the pocket, seemed to move very smartly down the football field, didn't try to get hit, just got where he needed to get, and they either got out of bounds or got down very quickly, but has the size, has the physicality to kind of level one, if need be, to kind of set the tone headed into next season. Now, going into what concerns me, right? Not much, but there are a few things that concern me. 9 interceptions last year as a true freshman. The reason why that doesn't necessarily concern me, because I like the aggressiveness, I like the ability wanting to make a play. However, as a sophomore, you've got to clean that up a little bit. You've got to kind of take a second, think about it for a few, and thinking, right, and having to second guess something could cause issues heading into that second/sophomore year, which could lead to a sophomore slump. So those things concern me because of his quick wit ability to want to make a play, can sometimes come and bite him in the back. Now, this isn't one for me, but it could be for others. Could be the play calling, right? I know there's been a lot of criticism on the Napier side of things on, are we going to utilize DJ? Are we going to be able to call plays that necessarily let him find his rhythm, that get him into motion, right? That is going to be something that could be I would say, deviating factor for DJ's game. I do believe the system that he is in is perfect for what Billy wants. The ability to get the ball moving, a lot of motion pre-snap, a lot of play action, a lot of getting the ball to go to multiple different places is going to allow DJ, I believe, to necessarily expand this offense, because now you have to be concerned, is one of those top running backs in the SEC going to get the ball? Is DJ Lagway running the ball? Or is he going to sling it to what is looking like to be one of the top feared wide receiver rooms in the SEC as well? So again, both have their concerns, right? One lacks experience. One necessarily has experience, but kind of plays a little firecracker-esh like. Both, though, have the tools, the athleticism, the system around them, I believe, to be one of the greats in the SEC. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, there's probably a few guys wagging that finger saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. We keep talking about Arch Manning and DJ Lagway, about which of these two are going to be the best for the SEC. Although we can't forget about the Garrett Nussmeier, their early on favorite to win the Heisman at LSU, who stacked up a ton of talent on both sides of the ball, which I think is going to help him tremendously, especially on the other side of the ball, because LSU found themselves a lot playing catch up, having to move the ball very quickly down the field, making Garrett having to play a one-style system. So I like Garrett Nussmeier a lot to be a front runner for the top SEC quarterback in Lenore Sellers. What he was able to do last year was electric. Someone like Lenore Sellers, though, and DJ, if someone gets some film on them, are they able to necessarily break them down because they've seen what they're able to do? Arch has the advantage of, we haven't seen a lot of them yet. We haven't seen much. You can get by a few games and make some W's because we don't know what to expect from this kid. Garrett has been read. He's gone through the books and has shown us some talent. It's going to be, all in all, I think it's going to be a fantastic season for the SEC. We're in for an absolute treat when it comes to the quarterback room. I think we felt the same way last year when you had the Carson Becks, you had the Quinn Ewers, you had the Jalen Mayros, you had the Brady Cooks. It necessarily didn't live up to the hype that we all thought it would. However, the SEC is always going to be a fantastic time to watch. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below on this quarterback battle, on the battle of the best SEC quarterback. Is there a name that I'm not mentioning that you think may, hey, knock us off your socks here? Maybe it's John from Oklahoma. Maybe it's Jackson R from Auburn. Maybe I'm forgetting somebody else. I don't know. I'm sure you'll tell me down in the comment section below. If you love this kind of content, you know what to do. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love, baby.